Hi, this is Jeremiah, and I'm recording my video essay for chapters 1 through 6. Starting with chapter 1, reading this and then just thinking about even what we were doing in conducting 1 sort of reshaped how I thought about conducting just as a musician. Because usually, like, people think, oh, the conductor, they just know everything and they're just facilitating rehearsal and leading the group during practice, but there is so much more to it than that I hadn't really thought about before, like such as the passion, how their passion is what's going to move your performers to do what you want them to do. And part of that is knowing how, I mean, it's part of it's how is knowing how the you feel about the music yourself and what you want to convey for your performers to show. There's something in the book talking about the actual art of conducting isn't about producing the music, because conductors, we don't make any of the sound. We facilitate the players to do that. And so preparing and knowing how you feel about the preparation for the music is very important. Chapter 2, this brought up a lot of things that, like, I try to do these in our conducting exercises. Even last year I tried to do some of these, such as if they can't see it, they won't do it. If there's a cue that they need, because I know as a bass player, like, there's several moments where I'm going to be resting for a while, and I can, like, there's potential for me to lose track or get lost in what other sections are playing if I'm not paying attention close enough. And even if I am paying attention, and if I'm waiting for a cue to get ready, okay, everybody, here we're coming in, and I don't see that, I end up not doing it. Let's see some of the other points here. If the music is the same, don't conduct the same. I've played for certain conductors who uh, every piece sort of, well, it's just one in particular I'm thinking about, but every piece was just kind of conducted the same, just a basic four pattern, and it was supposed to be a very lively piece. I remember it like just sounding kind of dead because the musicians didn't weren't putting energy behind it because they weren't really seeing any energy from the conductor. Look into my eyes. I feel like that's important because when you're conducting, you're having a conversation, you're conveying information with a performer essentially, and without that sort of visual connection with eye contact, uh, it doesn't really. It's a lot harder to compel someone to listen to you and to follow you if you're not willing to pay attention to them essentially. If you believe it and love it, so will they. Yeah, because I've heard from my teachers now about how they conduct pieces that, like, they did not like it at all, but they thought it would be good for the ensemble to learn certain musical concepts, so they had to act like they love it. And it was actually one of the band's favorite pieces that we performed that year. Let's see if they can't. All right, we already did that. Yeah. Oh, chapter 3, body language. I've been watching, like, whenever I watch a classical piece, I try to find one where it sort of not focuses on the conductor but goes back to them, and so I can see what they're doing throughout different portions of the piece. Like right now I was watching Beethoven's Fifth Symphony to try to see what other people, how they conduct that beginning part, and I've just been mimicking, trying to decide for myself what I would want to do during situations like that. Vertical gestures have more impact because I feel like, I mean, that's where we get a lot of our accents and downbeats from. Uh, let's see. I Ever since we started working with baton, I've kind of had to, like, redo my four pattern because there was a lot more loopiness when we were doing the choir esque conducting rather than the sort of like geometric pattern that we're doing, like with the floor, door, window, ceiling. There's a lot more directionality to my four pattern now. Chapter 5. I'm still working on the difference between accents, which is what was talked about in chapter 5 a lot. And then chapter 6 was staccato. Chapter 5, there's like more weight behind your emphasis on the beat. Whereas in the staccato, it's more of an articulation rather than an emphasis. It's just you're just showing how to play that. Yeah, overall, I think this beginning part of the semester has been good chance for me to rethink all the things I was thinking about conducting before, and I can focus on like what the musicians themselves need from me rather than just how I'm thinking about things. And that I feel like that has improved my conducting a lot, even just this far.